I'm not sure about you, but I genuinely hate watching Manchester United play against 10 men. We can't do it. We turn into a worse team. Is there any shame in losing at St James's Park, a ground we've not won in since 2020? No. Is there shame in playing against a Newcastle team who have 10 men for an entire half and they were the better team, apart from a 10-minute period before, let's be honest, it was an absolutely ridiculous winner. That is the first game that we have tasted defeat under Michael Carrick, and it was, am I going to go as far as saying self-inflicted? Yeah, I think I am. Why do we not have, look, Newcastle are like the antithesis of what this Manchester United team has been over these last few years. They are like the worst opponents for us to play because we just lose like every duel when we play them. We still lose every duel. Manu and Casemiro, everybody was losing their duels and the quality wasn't there and the tempo wasn't there. Why is it that when United go up against 10 men, we can't seem to go, oh, lads, they've lost a man. Why don't we, start moving it around faster? It was pissing me off no end. Maguire and Yoro switched the ball, hit the diagonal, hit the man in space, go wide. They've got 10 men. They can't cover the wings. But instead, you just you let the game continue as it was. It just pisses me off. City have dropped points. Villa got spanked by Chelsea. Liverpool lost. And that there is an opportunity lost. A massive opportunity lost. And given the players that Newcastle had missing, given the fact that they had lost 3 on the spin going into that, they were 13th in the table, and I think they were 7 points off 7th, and United had played 7 under Carrick and were undefeated. The moons had aligned, all right? But in the first half, first 25 minutes, the game went out exactly as I thought it would. At St James's Park, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to survive, and we did that. Bruno gave away a penalty. It was a penalty. It was a red card, by the way. Why is anybody talking like there wasn't a red card? You're on a yellow. You dived. It's a second yellow. Ta-da! Doesn't make it any more of a harsh red card because it was you dived. Second yellow. Done. Move on. Anyway, United and Bruno made up for it straight away going it. But it's just, I'm going to go back to it again. Like, why can Manchester United not find it within themselves when they go against 10 men to go, I'll tell you what, lads, let's turn the screw now. They've got 10 men. We just let the game continue at the same pace. You could have a go at Michael Carrick for saying he didn't do enough for the halftime inspirational team talk. Sure, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to say that. But the players themselves, man, just speed it up. Why is it that we can't just do that? Why is it that Bruno Fernandes ended that game with 1 assist? Yoro opportunity. That was a ridiculous save from Ramsdale from that Xerxes shot. It was better on the replay. How he saved that, I don't know. But that chance from Yoro, Cunha at the back post. Bruno sent in another one, maybe to Ugarte as well. He was just floating balls in. By the end of the game, he was playing centre-back just to try and get the balls from deep. But Mbumo, ineffective in that game. United, ineffective in that game. Kobe Mainu. That was a midfield game where I wanted to see what he did up against Joe Linton and Tonali and Ramsey, and it was a game that passed him by. It was a game where it was just too frantic in the middle. It was too physical in the middle. And that's what I mean about that game. It was just... that's one of those games that's just going to piss you off as the season goes on, and you remember what United did at St James's Park. To credit of, was it Asula? That's going to be goal of the season contender, if I'm honest. He won the ball back in the middle, the pass from Trippier, the run, the finish. Unbelievable winner. But we should not have let Newcastle be anywhere near the game by the time the 92nd minute came around. And that's why I'm pissed off. That's why I'm calling that a bit embarrassing, because United... I don't know. I watch other teams. I watch Arsenal, watch City, watch Liverpool, and they play against 10 men. And they'll make the opposition's arse fall out because they squeeze them, they press them, they start moving it twice as fast. They start zipping the diagonals. They start stretching the game. Oh, balls, we've really got to defend. Force the other team into a 4-4-1, really deep low block. But I don't think Newcastle, until Xerxes came on, towards the end. I don't think that we really caused them that many issues, and it was just relying on one person saying, can you find a ball into the box? Can somebody get on the end of it? Well, the person who was going to get on the end of it, he was taken off. Casemiro going off instead of Mainu for Ugarte was a little bit of a weird one. Casemiro scoring yet another header. Bruno to Casemiro. It felt like United, to do that just before half-time, that was a bit of resilience, and because the crowd was like boiling point at that point. I was surprised that Shaw and Mbeumo didn't go off at half-time, because it felt like the game was going to continue in that vein in the second half, and I suppose it didn't. It calmed down, but that's the thing I'm annoyed about. United shouldn't have let that game calm down. United's game management in that second half, from Carrick to all the players, was poor. It was incorrect. Instead of letting that game slow down, we should have done the opposite. But we actually allowed the 10 men to kind of play how they wanted to play, and they defended well. And of course they were going to defend well. They're a tough team to beat. It's a tough ground to go. But if you're not going to win at St James's Park, when they're down to 10 men for 45 minutes, they've lost 3 in the spin and they're mid-table, they don't have Bruno Guimaraes, they don't have Lewis Miley, they don't have their main striker. I mean, how many other things you want to be handed out? United were given it on a silver platter there today, and especially in that second half. And we didn't eat anything. We were just reliant on getting the ball and recycling it to Bruno to try and knock it in, to try and get a header. The biggest chance I think we had was Yoro's header. Other than that, Cunha wasn't creating enough, and Mbeumo wasn't creating enough. Ahmad, I don't really think he got too many opportunities. Anybody remember Šeško having a chance? Anybody? I don't remember Šeško having any opportunity. First half when he kind of nothing. Nothing for Šeško. Nothing really from any of our attackers. And nothing, if I'm being completely honest, from United. There was a 10-15 minute period where we were trying to squeeze them, and we got a couple of chances, and that save from Xerxes by Ramsdale. But it just annoys me no end that United don't seem to have this ability against 10 men to just go up another gear where other teams do. And I don't get it, because it's happened against Everton. It's happened 2 times this season now that United have lost playing 10 men. 70-odd minutes against Everton, 45 minutes against Newcastle. That one's going to sting. That one's going to stew for the next 11 days until we play Aston Villa, who got absolutely walloped by Chelsea. The fact that there were drop points around us means that that's not going to be something that, I suppose, derails the season. But in a season where opportunities have to be taken, that was an opportunity that Manchester United completely missed out on. It was our own undoing. Newcastle, I genuinely think, deserved the win by the end of it. It goes another year that we haven't won at St James's Park. But if you're not going to do it there against 10 men in that game, in those circumstances, I don't know when we're going to win there. Really, really poor from United, man.